Hey guys, it's Danny here with Let It Rip Potato Chip Channel, and today is going to be all about Metallica, and I have my wife
Lisa.
here with me to discuss this. We are actually discussing our favorite Metallica album that we grew up on, that we've picked, or actually, it's not necessarily our favorite. It's our
Childhood favorite.
yeah, childhood
That we
favorite
grew up with.
that we grew up with. Mine is going to be Metallica's "Kill 'Em All."
And mine is And Justice for All. It might be not a popular choice, but that is pretty much what I grew up on. I listened to it so many times as a teenager, and I don't know, I just loved it.
For me, Metallica's "Kill 'Em All" was, obviously their start into thrash metal. I have to point out that Dave Mustaine wrote like half this album, and like half "Ride the Lightning" as well. Um,
And you being the fanboy of Dave Mustaine that you
I
are.
I'm a huge Dave Mustaine fan. I'm a huge Megadeth fan, um, but that's a different story. Um, but there are a lot of wonderful songs on the "Kill 'Em All" album. Uh, to start off with, on the album is "Hit the Lights." Hit the
Hit the lights,
lights.
lights, lights.
And then I'm gonna name off a couple of good songs off the album. We have again "Hit the Lights," "Four Horsemen," "Jump into the Fire," Cliff Burton's solo bass song with a little Lars on it, "Pulling Teeth." Then we have "No Remorse," "Seek and Destroy," and "Metal Militia." Now, those are just a few. There's a couple more on there, but I feel like these few songs that I've named stick out a lot more on this album. For me, my favorite Metallica song is "Seek and Destroy," and I played that song over and over and over. One of the first things that I ever sent to her when we first started talking was me shirtless playing "Seek and Destroy."
Your whole douchey self with no shirt on, sending me a solo.
But so just to show off a little talent,
Is that all you were showing off?
and my little nipples.
Yes.
But like they still play a lot of these songs on their tours, but they only really play anything from like the Black Album down because they haven't made a good album since. Um, but you know these songs stuck out a lot for me. A lot of them again are written by Dave, or parts of them are written by Dave Mustaine. That might be the reason why my ears perk up when I listen to these songs. Um,
Why did you like it a lot as a kid?
I don't. I think it was just because it
Was
was.
it the first one you heard or first album of theirs? Or?
It yeah. Besides the Black Album, "Kill 'Em All" was like the first Metallica album that I like really dove into, and I think it was because it was just so. They were kids. My dad would tell me, the story. Like these guys were like 16, 17, 18 years old, and just making this aggressive music and being able to play at that age what they were doing then. I mean, yes, they progressed as songwriters, but at that point in time, being that at that age and writing these awesome riffs and songs and solos, and James isn't the best singer there out there, but he can hold a note.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think he did. Actually, no, he did do some yeah yeahs and "Kill 'Em All."
yeah. Did he?
Not a whole lot. I think it may
Probably
have been like
not.
one or two. Yeah, yeah. But the these songs stuck out a lot for me because I think it was just so aggressive and so punchy, and even the early album, it had kind of a punk feel to it, along with the thrashiness.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, hit the lights, Four Horsemen, Jump into the Fire, Seek and Destroy, and Metal Militia. And again, Cliff Burton's Pulling Teeth solo is just a testament of how awesome he is as a bass player. Uh, you know, being super super sad that he died so young in a tragic accident, and you know took one of the best bass players in the world that pick with their fingers, and being able to play such super fast and super melodic riffs. You know, it's amazing, and I think that's where yours comes in, unfortunately, because Cliff Burton isn't on Injustice for All.
Mhm. Um, which sucks because I mean, no one can beat Cliff in any of the Metallica stuff. But I did always and still love Jason Newsted. I think he was a great bassist. Unfortunately, on this album, he's not featured very well. Yeah, bass turned down quite a bit. But I can't remember when I was a teenager if Injustice was the first Metallica album I had ever listened to. It might have been the Black Album. I don't really remember.
I think it was probably a United States law that everyone had to own Metallica's Black Album.
Probably. Did that come out before you were even born? Or was it the same year?
It was either 90 or 91. I was
You're
born
so
in
young.
91.
Anyway, so for me, I think why I loved Injustice so much, I mean, it had one of their, hugest songs on there, One. I mean, anyone that knows Metallica, and pretty much everyone knows of Metallica, they know of this song. I mean, it's just huge. But pretty much the whole album is great, and I think why I loved it so much, and it may not necessarily be my favorite of theirs now, but I also I hadn't really heard any thrash music when I was like 10 to 15, I don't know, really, when I was starting to really get into music. So it's pretty much why I don't think I had heard their first three albums really, except for, stuff that was on the radio like Master of Puppets and those kind of songs.
For
But
whom the bell toll.
yeah, anyway. But I think why I love this album and it's kind of influenced the music that I love now is because a lot of the songs, they weren't like the thrashy songs where they're only like 3 minutes long. Most of them were 6 minutes or longer, and that's, how I love my music now. Like in my top 10 video that I did, most of those songs are like 10, 15 minutes long, and I just, like I said, I love songs that take you on a journey that are long. And the majority of the songs on this album are decently long. And I think this is the first album where they started to really do that and kind of get into
Storytelling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's where that story arc comes in. Like, Kill 'Em All, and then Ride the Lightning, and then Master Puppets, and then Injustice. They were building up to, obviously, the Black Album. Also self-titled Metallica, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, even on Ride the Lightning, their sophomore album, the writing in their music got so much better and so much more melodic and so much more story arc to it, instead of just coming out and like
Punch you in the face.
Yeah, let's get it on. I mean, yeah, they did have some long songs and stuff on Kill 'Em All, but most of them are just like and a couple of them, like Hit the Lights, has kind of got like a storytelling to it. Jump into the Fire a little bit. Seek and Destroy definitely does have that like story arc and being long, but it's just got super long parts in it, and they're repeated and repeated. You know, the songs that were later written on Injustice, they had so many parts to it that it made the song longer. Because then you can, instead of just having a chorus and a verse, you can have a chorus, verse, pre-chorus, pre-verse, bridge, all this stuff to it to add even more to the story. Um, but getting back to Kill 'Em All, it was for me. It was just like I never heard anything like it before. Not to obviously you guys know Pantera is my favorite band. It, and and people say that Pantera is a thrash metal band, which is obviously yeah they are, but they're not. That's not their
They're not what I
main
would call
thing.
thrash.
People argue about it. They're not thrash. They're not thrash. Blah blah blah. They're a bit of everything, but like people calling Pantera's Cowboys from Hell album a thrash metal album, and then listening to Metallica's Kill 'Em All, like that is thrash metal. This is something else. It's still great and wonderful, but it's just like you know, where Dimebag had a lot of melodic writing and all this. Like this Kill 'Em All album was just in your face and like, let's go, hit the lights and that's where like all that heavy chugging and stuff, and it's just like it just gets you going and gets you going and gets you going. But then you get older and you just want to listen to stories.
Right. You can't get going quite as fast. But anyway, not a few, literally I love all the songs on this album. It opens up with Blacken, and it starts with a small little like guitar part, and then it goes right into it, and yes, does that like you showed for us. And then there's Injustice for All, great, Eye of the Beholder, and then One, obviously The Shortest Straw. I love this. It got stuck in my head the other day for some reason. And then Harvester of Sorrow.
Harvester of Sorrow
Popped up on the radio, or not the radio, but on my in the car the other
MP3,
day. And, yeah, and so I was singing along with it. And I think that was one thing I liked about this album, like especially as a kid. To be able to sing along to an album is pretty cool. I don't do that nowadays because I don't listen to lyrics and all that. But I think as a kid that's important, and why I pretty much love this one so much. And then there's The Frayed Ends of Sanity, which I believe is just an instrumental, and again, good as well. And then To Live Is to Die and Dyer's Eve. And all the songs are great. So can't say much more about it.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like Kill 'Em All for me, all great songs. Ride the Lightning had a lot of great songs. Not all of them, most of them. And Master of Puppets, it only had like 2 or 3 that I really liked off of there. And then on Injustice, it came back to like, I love all these songs. And then Black Album, I think, again, it's legally binding that you have to love every song on the Black Album. You have to have a copy of it in your house. If you don't, police will show up and give you a copy and then give you a ticket for not having one. But yeah, then on the Black Album, everything was super duper, and then it kind of like... But these are our favorite Metallica, or...
Childhood favorites.
Yeah, childhood favorite Metallica albums. Please, guys, in the comments, let us know what your favorite childhood Metallica album was. If you are subscribed to this channel and you're a young gun, tell me what your favorite album is, or what album that you really stuck to, or if you're one of the older guys and have been listening to Metallica since day one and want to let me know what your favorite song and or album is of theirs, please leave it down in the comments and we will discuss this. I love reaching out to you guys. I love when you guys reach out to me. It's a wonderful thing. Please hit that like button down below on this video. Also, ring that bell for whom the bell tolls down there. So you will get notifications for when I do upload videos. Also, subscribe to the channel.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Do it.
You should be too.
Isn't that kind of vanity if I subscribe to myself?
I mean, you are your channel, so you technically can't even be. But anyway.
I'm going to subscribe to myself, guys. Anyway, thank you for watching, and always remember, let it rip!
Tater chip. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, yeah!
Wow!